I actually haven't been well recently. Oh, stop it, honestly, I don't want to talk about it. But if you insist, I really haven't, though, so that's why I'm delighted to get here today. I was rushed to A&E recently with terrible abdominal problems, just hideous pains all up and down my tummy and around my sides, and I was rushed to A&E. And for about 3 hours, I thought, and anyone here who ever read a magazine as a teenager will know what I mean, especially the girls, I thought that I was about to have a surprise baby. Do you know the way there's those stories in the magazine going, well, everything was normal, nothing was different, everything was regular. Well, then I went to the toilet, and I looked in the toilet, and there was a baby in the toilet. I had a surprise baby. There was always that, and that's when I thought it was. But you'll be happy to know that actually it was, I'm bringing sexy back, a gut infection. A gut infection. But the worst part of the whole situation was that the doctor in A&E was really, really handsome. And I think doctors who are handsome should be struck off. I really do. I wanted someone with a sort of mashed potato head that I could feel at one with. But instead, this man was really handsome. He said to me, what seems to be the problem? And I was like, well, doctor, my problem is that I'm too cute. Cheers me. I mean, how could I tell him that I thought I was having a surprise baby or else I was waiting for a poo? I mean, you couldn't, you know... And once we find out which one it is, do you want to go for a drink? It's really quite terrible. But by the way, you might notice that I talk quite fast. And if I'm honest, it's not really going to slow down too much, so you'll have to sort of jump on the Venga bus of enthusiasm and beep the horn with this one. I think that the reason I talk quite fast is because I was brought up in the countryside, in the deepest, darkest countryside, where there was no one for miles and miles around. Just this giant expanse of land with no one to talk to. And it was very, very lonely. You'd have no one to speak to during the day. I mean, a very backwards existence, lads. Like, our clothes are made of mud. Our hats were made of leaves. We had no access to things like pot noodles. We just had to sort of pour boiling water on top of birds' nests if we didn't feel like cooking one evening. A really backwards existence. And crows everywhere. Crows. In the city, there's pigeons everywhere, but in the countryside, there's crows everywhere. And it makes everything you do seem really ominous. You'd open the window and it'd be like, wah, 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 wah. Well, that seems a bit ominous. You know, you'd be standing innocently over a dead body in a field. Oh, God, this all seems a bit ominous. But the reason that I think I talk quite fast is because I'd have no one to talk to during the day. And so some days, the only person you'd have to talk to would be a passing car flying along the road. So you had to learn to talk fast if you wanted to talk to anyone. You'd be like, hi, how's it going? Oh my God, come back and talk to me. Do you like my new dress? Stay and be my friend. This sort of thing. Some days you'd be waiting for a tractor to come along, because you get more time out of a tractor, you see. You get to talk to them for longer. You'd be like, hi, how's it going? Do you like Sesame Street? I like Sesame Street. Oh, you do like Sesame Street. Sometimes I think Big Bird might not be a big bird, but he might just be a man in a suit. I know it sounds bad, but I have my suspicions. Goodbye, come back.
Here at the sink, right? And I've put a little thing here. It's like a bean tin, but it's got holes in it. So you put the cutlery in there, and it's all together then. You're not chasing it round, and the water comes out of the holes, so you just take it away, right? I watch them washing up, reach past this thing. They can see it. It's there. They would have to be blind in this eye and looking that way not to be able to see it. They travel the extra distance to lay the cutlery flat on the side. And I mean all the cutlery, including teaspoons. And not that way round. So that a little pool of shitty water dribbles down into the teaspoon so that it looks like it's already got soup in it. And then they'll walk over to the cutlery drawer, and all I ask, you just put the cutlery away however you like, as long as it's forks on the left, knives in the middle, spoons on the right. Teaspoons on the bottom, facing to the left, steak knives on the far left. You can't fit the steak knives in the ordinary knife rack, they're too long. It's just they have to go in there. Lovely, sexy steak knives they are. Sexy jet black handle and a long serrated knife. They'll be putting it away, and they'll put some away, right? They go, oh yeah, they're going there, don't they? And then they just think, oh, bored of this. Doing it right. I'm going to put this one in the knife rack. And then I'm going to take the paring knife, and I'm going to put the paring knife in there as if they look anything alike. Fat, horrible grey handle on the paring knife. No serration on the blade. Little fat, stubby blade. And I think, how have you done that? But the only consolation I get is it's okay, because that's the one I'm going to kill him with. I'm going to grab that knife and I'm going to sneak up to their room in the middle of the night. I'm going to go, hello, it's the fairy, and he's tooled up. I'm going to stab you now with this steak knife. You know, that's actually a paring knife. So you do know the difference! The reason that I need to be a better person is because I finally decided I think I want to have kids, right? It's taken me a long time. And what turned me was a really tiny thing. I watched a woman near where I live pushing a pram with two sort of toddler-age children in. And all I heard her say as she walked past, she went, well, cars aren't allowed to turn right all the time. Sometimes they have to go straight on. That was it. And I thought, my God, I want kids. Imagine being in the company of people to whom you could say a sentence that tedious, and their response will be, you blow my mind. So there's a road, but they're not allowed to turn into it. That is... So what, do they just move house to the end of the road then, do they? Because if you turn right twice, you'll end up back on that road. And why aren't you Prime Minister? I don't... You know everything. You're an incredible person. So I really want kids, but I can't have kids because I can't inflict myself on a child. Because I don't know what the line is between telling a child when it's doing something wrong so that it learns to do better and accepting that children can't do everything properly. I don't think I would draw that distinction. I think I would just always tell them that they were doing something wrong to the point of breaking their souls immediately. Oh, you're doing some colouring in, are you? Ah. I just wonder why you're carrying on with that, because you've got out of lines, haven't you? It's ruined. It's never going to be perfect now, is it? You might as well start again. Because it's not going on the fridge like that.
Tommy, did I get unlucky? What would be, I know you're a builder, not an electrician, but you can still answer this question. What would be your absolute record in a row for not turning up when you promised you would?
4.
4. God bless your honesty. Because my electrician, did I get unlucky? Because 14 times he didn't turn up when he promised he would, right? 14 times, incidentally, where I sat on my ass watching shit daytime television. No offence, Tommy, right? But... I sat on my ass twiddling my thumbs watching shit daytime television. Presumably he did exactly the same thing round at his house. But then he finally came, right? And this is, have you ever seen anything this incompetent, right? Because I'm 43, and I've sort of, I've travelled the world, I've seen a thing or two, but I have never seen anything this shit. I've never seen anything this incompetent in any area of life, right? Because this electrician came, and he fitted what do you call, double plug sockets. Yes. He fitted 15 of those, right? 15 of them, all around the lounge in the dining room. 13 of them, Tommy, are awesome. Awesome, some of the finest plug sockets you'll ever see in your life. Beautiful pieces of work. 2 of them, however, are upside pissing down, right? How is that even possible? How have you ever seen that? I've never seen an upside down plug set. Literally, the switches at the top, you push it in. Half the light switches are on the wrong way round as well, right? But I thought I can live with that. I was going to complain about that until I saw the plug sockets. I'll leave it go, right? Because it's not the end of the world. Some of them are on when they're up, some of them are on when they're down, or whatever. It's a bit inconvenient, but they all still work until you come to change a light bulb, and then it's Russian roulette, frankly, right? I let it go. I let the light switches go. We've all seen that before, right? But I'd never seen upside-down sockets, so I rang him, right? And the conversation I had with my electrician is in my anger management diary, right? This is the conversation with my electrician because he's put 2 plug sockets upside down in our lounge. I rang him, right? I rang him. I said, oh, this is a bit awkward, but you seem to have fitted 2 of the plug sockets upside down. Do you know what he said, Tommy? Are you sure? I said, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, let me just check. Oh, hang on, my girlfriend's just come in. Her head seems to be roughly the same height as mine. Her eyes are above her mouth, and when we drop things, they fall towards our feet. We seem to be the right way up, mate. This is a genuine question from my electrician, Tommy, a genuine question. Would you prefer them all the same way up, would you? I think I would. I'm sorry, I'm old school. What can I say? I can't help it. And he's always on the front foot. He's one of those people, you know, he'll never take a criticism, this guy, right? Because he's like, what do you want me to do about it? He's on the phone, what do you expect me to do about it? I said, well, it seems to me you've got two choices, right? One involves you popping back to the house and turning the two sockets round, right? And the other one involves you trying to persuade the entire world to start living upside down, doesn't it? But I should point out, if you do decide to go down that second route, it could actually involve a lot more work for you in the long run, right? Because once you've travelled the world spreading the topsy-turvy gospel according to St. Pissing Nutjob the Inverted, right? You'll have to bounce back here on your head and redo the 13 sockets you put on the right way down in the first place.
I wanted to tell you this because, as I'm saying, I am dating a lot of older guys, but I also realize, as much as I say that I am 40, I know I don't look 40, right? So I get a lot of guys who are talking to me who are like 27, 28, and I can't get over the fact that, like, when I was 18, you were 6. Like, I can't do that. It's so weird, right? But he's talking, he's like stepping up to me, and I'm like, I don't even get how this works. Like, if we hook up, do I have to drop you off at school tomorrow? Like, how does this work, right? So I'll get talked to by guys who are like younger, and I think that a lot of you don't realize how much some of us women mean business, okay? So here's what I need you to do. Like, men in your 20s, if you are ever in a position of talking to a woman who appears to be at least 30 years old, okay, and you are not available, all right, you got a wife, a partner, a girlfriend, a fiance, whatever it is you have, you are not available, you need to let us know, all right? In the first 5 minutes, you gotta bring that bitch up, all right? Just be like, my wife has a face as well. Like, whatever it is, just find a reason to bring her up, because yes, you will see the light of hope die in our eyes, but at least we'll know these are not the droids you're looking for, and we can move on, okay? Because we are not looking for friends, we're looking for partners. We are like sharks, we are on the move, all right? I was at a cast party for a show I was not in about a month ago, right? Because, like, basically my friend had done this show and she invited me to the party, and I was like, great, because I don't know any of these guys, but they're all coming down off of the high of finishing what they've done, and they're all gonna be depressed, and I'm gonna catch some sad dicks in my basket, yeah. I'm gonna get all these sad crying dicks, yes, right? It's a perfect place to pick up new people, right? So I go to this cast party, and I'm talking to the sound guy, right, for the show. And I love sound guys. I depend on sound guys, but I love tech guys because they just get business done and don't make a fuss about it. They're like, yeah, you're welcome, bye. Like, I love that, right? So I was talking to the sound guy, right? And he was like cute and geeky. And I talked to this guy for 45 minutes about the video game, The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I held my own in that nerd-ass conversation for 45 minutes. I stumbled all the way down memory lane with this guy. And I was pretty proud of myself. 45 minutes of this talk. And I'm like, you know what? I think we're vibing. Like, I'm gonna get his number. He's so cute. He's so funny. 45 minutes into this conversation, this guy goes, yeah, my wife always loved that game. And I was like, God damn it! Your wife? I have ovulated in the middle of this conversation. Your wife owes me an egg. Go run and tell that bitch that. She owes me an egg. Right? She'll be mad at your ass too when she comes. She's like, why did you tell her that? Now I gotta give this bitch an egg.
I sort of feel like if you've got enough money, you can sort of just pay somebody to diagnose away your shit personality. And I consider that money well spent, by the way. I would recommend it to you. Prick. No. I actually have bipolar disorder. That's why I've ruined your birthday. Poor me, actually. Now I always thought there was a system. Like, adult ADHD has changed everything for me. I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought it was a childhood thing, but now there's adult ADHD, which has confused the whole process for me. I thought the process was that if you had a child who was shit, you would say that they had ADHD. And if that child who is shit grows up to be a shit adult, you would say that they had bipolar disorder. Footnote, I've been diagnosed with both, so don't write in, camera people. Anyway, a lot of people might suffer with mental illness, and that's, it's a pervasive phenomenon. A lot of you might have depression. That's your sort of garden variety mental illness. That's your standard fare. And if you do have depression, my advice to you and the community at large would just be to keep it in there. Bottle it up. Whatever you do, don't tell me about it, because I don't care. I don't care if you're depressed. I'm bored of it. I just don't want to hear about it. And I just can't be. And also, it's just not a good thing. If you have depression, don't tell me, because as somebody who suffers with depression, you should know how pervasive depression is, that many people suffer with depression. So if you tell me that you have depression, that might make me depressed. And that doesn't really feel like a problem halved, does it? It doesn't. It's not, don't tell me about it, Depression is an economy based on resource scarcity. And what we've done now is we've flooded the market with depression, and it's lost all of its value, and I don't care if you're depressed. Depression is currently in its Weimar Republic era of hyperinflation. And we're all wandering around with wheelbarrows full of depression going, would you look at all of this depression? And I'm there going, that's actually not as much depression as it looks like. That won't even get you a loaf of sympathy down the shops these days. My friend said to me recently, with the confidence of a man saying something new, that's lovely. He said, I just think we need to talk more about male mental health. Oh my God, how could there possibly be time to talk about it any more than we already do? We are talking. I know that we all have different perspectives, different cultural backgrounds. I can see you, or feel you rather, like moving away from me. Okay, let's all keep lighthearted about this. I don't want to have to say only joking, given the context of what this is, okay?
I don't have a kid. I have a wife. That's a start, I suppose. I'm a very happily married man. I'm a man in love, actually. How many men here in love? A few of you. By the way, those of you who are here, any men who are here with women and you didn't react when I asked if you were in love, you have a very frosty journey home ahead of you. That's all I can tell you. That was a good show tonight, wasn't it? Did you not enjoy it? Well, I enjoyed it, but I was listening. You didn't seem to be listening. I was laughing. Well, the Irish guy asked you a direct question. Love is a funny thing. Being in love and falling in love are obviously two quite different things, aren't they? They both have their own merits. They both have their pros and their cons. Falling in love, for instance, is very exciting. I'll give you that. You never know what's going to happen next. Every time you see her, your heart beats faster. You touch her, you tingle, you can't get her out of your head. Falling in love, very exciting. And being in love is fine. So they both have their own merits, is what I'm trying to say there. You try and do things to keep the romance going, and if you're a bloke, that's your job. And if you're a woman, your job is to tell us if we're doing our job correctly. We try and do things to keep the romance going, but every now and again, ladies, you might do things that'll suck the romance back out again. Like ask us questions. Stop doing that. I don't mean questions like, where you been till now, who are you texting, what are you doing on the net at this hour? They're fair enough. I mean questions like, what are you thinking? Piss off with that question. What are you thinking? What is your obsession with what we're thinking? Can that be the one thing that remains exclusively mine? We share everything. The house, the bills, the friends. Can the content... No, I want that too. Come on. Why can't you women show us men the same courtesy and consideration we show you and not give a shit about what we're thinking? Why can't you do that? Because do you want to know the honest answer to that question? As soon as you say to your man, what are you thinking? Do you want to know what he's thinking? He's thinking, shit, better think of something to say, I've been thinking. That's what he's now thinking. Whatever he had been thinking before you asked that question, no matter how reasonable or innocent the thought was, it has gone now. scuttled off into the corner of his brain in a panic to make way for all the little men that are now running around his head going, what are we thinking? She's asking! Quick, give me something to make it good. Somebody, you, what do you have? What do you have? She won't believe that in a million years. Come on, lads! You. That's not even a real place, for Christ's sake! What do you have? That's your sister. What are you trying to do to us? And the reason we panic is because, you know, the truth won't do. The truth, 95% of the time, is the word nothing. That won't do at all, will it? What are you thinking about? Nothing. You can't be thinking nothing. You have to be thinking something. Everyone has to be thinking something. Ladies, you should never underestimate a man's ability to be completely and utterly vacant. Seriously.